What's up, everybody? Today you get a little behind the scenes of what it takes to run a general contracting business. We have a full-blown office day today. It's not the ideal way to spend the day. I would much rather be out on the job site, swinging a hammer, helping build things. But this is a critical part for being able to keep projects moving forward and also ensuring that we have work for the future. So let's get into it. Yesterday, I finally got the engineering plans for a project that we are working on for removing a load-bearing wall. So to be able to keep that thing moving forward, I need to go ahead and order a glue lam beam. This is going to be going in a spot that we're going to be cutting out and then bracing all of the load from the second story down onto this beam and carried it down to the crawl space with the footings. If you don't know what a glue lam beam is, it is just pieces of wood that are laminated together that give it a lot more strength and can carry a lot more load. The engineer gave me the dimensions that we need to properly carry the load all the way down to the footings below the house. So I'm gonna go ahead and call our building supply store here in town and get that thing ordered. In the past, we had run into shipment issues, especially during the pandemic era. We wouldn't be getting these things for many weeks in advance. But now that everything is kind of back up and running, usually it only takes about 3 or 4 days for them to receive that in.
Roger, this is Dave.
Hey, I am calling to see about ordering a glue lam. I believe I can get those for you, right?
Yeah, you can get glue lambs for me.
Awesome, sweet. So it's 3.5 by 9, but we can do up to 3.5 by 9.5, whatever is more of a standard size and whatever kind of gets here quicker.
Okay, what length?
So, let's see. It's going to be 10 foot.
How many do you need?
Just the one.
Give me a second here. Let me get into the system. 3.5 by 9.5 glue lam. The 3.5 by 9.5 will probably move a little bit faster.
Yeah, I figure that's more of a standard size.
All right, and we need have someone pick this up when it arrives?
Yes, sir. That will work.
Okay. What job is this for Van Pelt?
It's going to be called Fez House, so F-E-Z and then house.
And forgive me, your name again?
Zach.
They got you in the system. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Got you down there?
Always at the bottom.
Okay, I'll get some solid pricing on this, and then I'll get this on order for you.
Awesome, sounds good. About how long do you think it'll take to get in?
Might get it tomorrow if I hurry. If
Ooh.
not, Monday.
All right, either one of those works, so yeah.
Sounds good?
Perfect, thank you.
All right, I'm on it. I'll give you a call as soon as I get more information.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Now that we got the glue lam all taken care of and ordered, I just got an email back from our accountants for payroll, so we're gonna go ahead and write out those checks. There's an important tip that I want to share with all of y'all. As I'm writing out these checks, I go through and update our bank register. We have both an online one as well as a manual one. We just want to make sure that we're tracking expenses at all times. And especially for us in the general contracting space, we have a lot of big checks that we had to write. So we want to make sure that they go through without any issues and that we know exactly where our company stands at all times. This is also incredibly important in your own personal finance journey. Just in case you run into any emergency expenses, and if you end up writing a check for money that you don't have, it's gonna bounce and it's gonna cost you more in bank fees. So I just think that it's wise to always track your expenses at all times, especially if you're in business. All right, now that we got payroll all done, it is time to move on to the next thing. I'm gonna go ahead and run out to a few job sites and see how everything's going. First stop is over where Jacob and Caleb are at. It's this house that we've been working on for about a year. The reason why it's taken so long is because it's an insurance shop. About a year ago, the pipes froze, it blew up and flooded the whole entire place, and we spent at least 6 to 9 months dealing with the insurance to try to get the maximum return for the customer. And it's just been a headache ever since. But let's go see how everything's going. We are on to the finishing parts of this project, and everything's been looking super good, so let's see how the brothers are doing. This place here was pretty much gutted all the way down to the studs because of that flooding issue. And now we're on to the finishing parts of it. Or should I say Caleb and Jacob are. Caleb recently went through and got all this tile put in. We have flooring throughout the whole entire house. All the doors are hung, trim is hung. There's only about a bajillion freaking windows that we had to do for this place, as well as 2 jillion doors that got hung. So with each one of those, we ended up having to case around them, and the insurance didn't pay for all of that. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, and we'll have to go back at them for that one. But yeah, everything else is looking really good. The things that they have left is installing transitions. Jacob and Caleb are working on finishing out the trim out for this thing, so they'll get this all painted, the nice handrails. In addition to that, Jacob has some bullnosing for the stairs, so he'll have to go through, cut all those and attach it to the face of this one so that the stairs are nice and complete. In the meantime, what are you working on here, Caleb?
Just copying in the rest of the trim that we've installed.
Yeah.
I'm on the last window over here, so thank God.
Is trim your favorite thing to do?
It's alright, but now that it's this week, repetitive and stuff.
Yeah. I looked up and I think we have just right around 1,200 linear foot of baseboard for this place. And I want to say there was like
1,000 feet of casing and window casing.
Yeah, at least that. And I just ran calculations.
That's without the kitchen windows. So another 30 feet on, over 1,000 feet though.
Yeah. So that in perspective is a lot of baseboard. That's almost, if you think about that, that's almost like half a mile in baseboard and casing alone.
Right.
Within this house.
But then with casing, you have to caulk on both sides. So it's more like 2,000 linear feet of caulking.
Yep.
I've gone through over 20 tubes of caulking myself. And I know Jacob's gone through probably a dozen or so.
Yeah. We went through, I bought 2 cases.
Holy smoke. Oh my lantern.
But we've gone through about 30. At least 30 tubes of caulking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're going to take it as far as we possibly can.
Yeah. All right. With that, we are out of here. This place is really starting to come along. It's come a long way since being down to the studs. So it's looking really nice, and the guys should be able to finish up next week, and we'll be moving on to another project. With that, now it's time to go head over to where Marvin and Todd are working. Alright folks, and we are here at the last stop of the day. Marvin's tidying up a few different things, but let's go ahead and see what they've been doing. So they've been working on framing up, and they've got this whole entire well house all completed here. It looks super good. I like the pitch of the roof, but that was super hard to do because you had to build your regular 8-foot wall, and then another 4-foot wall on top of that with a pitch angle going back. We needed to go ahead and get this built because here on the inside, you can see we have our gas and water lines feeding up into it, and right on the back side of this is where the electrical panels are going to go. They'll be installing those next week. That way we can go ahead and get power from the main road all the way back over here. They'll come in, put in a transformer, make the connection to this panel, and then from there we can run all of the electrical lines out to the tiny house over there and up to where they are framing the big house up there. So this thing is really moving along here. Marvin and Todd did an absolutely phenomenal job on that. As you can see, the tiny house now has a deck attached to it. So Marvin and Todd went ahead and got that all framed up the past couple of days. It's looking really good. In the meantime, we got Nate Thompson and his crew going ahead, rolling on framing the big house up there. The walls are starting to get put up. It's starting to look pretty darn good. That's why you can hear the generator, because they have power tools, and unfortunately right now we don't have any power. So we have to run everything off of the generators. So hopefully after next week, when the electricians get the panels and everything installed on the backside of the well house there, we can get our local electrical utility company to come out and start making their connections. It might be a couple of weeks before we get power out here, but it'll be really nice, and that's what we need to keep moving ahead with this project. So everything's looking really good. We're making pretty darn good progress. I'm excited to start seeing the walls go up and everything. Once that gets inspected, we can start going ahead
doing some drywall and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow along with these projects or any of the other ones that we got going on, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.